We're here in front of the Bopes Library at NYU to talk to students about jobs and how to create economic opportunities. Let's go.
I think it really depends where you are. I mean, a lot of my friends in California or in other parts of the country, especially if they're not a college student right now, are having a lot of trouble finding jobs. But I found it not necessarily easy, since I've been turned down by 24 jobs this summer. But I mean, if you're persistent, you can get a job pretty much anywhere. The jobs I have, or I work as an office manager at the Andy Warhol Foundation, and then I work as in the education program at MoMA PS1. And I mean, in terms of getting jobs, the main thing is just, you got to apply to a lot of them and ask your friends, like if there's
a network.
Yeah, it's definitely a whole. It's especially here in New York.
It's different in every industry, you know. We're both film students, and right now it's not the best time in our industry, certainly, because there are so many more graduates from film school now than there were, and as many or fewer jobs. So it's not great, the situation right now.
I think that it's really hard. I think it depends on your previous work experience before entering the search for work. And I think that it's often good to take the route from internship to job, which is what most of my friends have done. And I think that looking online is a tool that people use, but not to its full extent. I think it's easy to easily give up on it, but a lot of people I know have gotten jobs through hounding people on Craigslist. Just because there's not a name on the email doesn't mean that someone's not looking at it, and persistence pays off.
Now it's harder because there isn't enough money. But I mean, go to your student center and see what they have to offer. I think the main point is, in order to get ahead, you don't have to do better than everyone else. You just have to do a little bit more than everyone else. And the idea is just, you know, if there's something they ask you for a page, write that page and do it, because a lot of 100 people aren't going to do it. And I think that's the idea. It's always, I think all the things I got, the internships I got, the programs I got into, I did just a little bit more work than other people. It wasn't that much more work.
Well, the place I started, I mean, if you're in some form of higher education, they likely have some kind of employment office, and I just went to their website, and that's how I found my first job. And then you meet people through whatever job you're at, or just in general in your classes, and that's probably the best place to look. Electric bills, needing to pay rent, that general stuff, wanting to not have to move back in with my parents.
Right. So good motivating factors.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you can never start too low, especially in this economy. I mean, I know it sounds hard to believe, but I know people who have turned down salary, turned down a position because they think it's below them. I mean, at this point, you know, there's always room for growth at a company. You know, start where you can. If it doesn't work out, gain the experience and move on.
If you want something, you go for it. You know, and that doesn't change depending on the job market. You know, if there's a job that you want, you know, you do the networking, you build resources, you build the resume, and it'll come.
Here at AIMbitious, we encourage young people to pursue their dreams and really create opportunities for themselves. Cameron Williams, founder and head designer of Mustard Mustache, is a full-time student and pursuing his dreams of one day opening up his own boutique and showcasing his talent as a designer.
I might have to keep it closed for now.
So we are here today with Cameron Williams, who is the founder and lead designer of...
Yes.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Of Mustard Mustache. Cameron, as we said, I'm from Queens, and we started Mustard Mustache this summer, and it's men's accessories, so socks, bow ties, regular ties, and pocket squares. It's really accessories for the modern man today, because men are getting so much more fashionable. Really, it's wonderful.
And how do you guys distinguish yourself from any other kinds of men's accessories?
Well, there aren't too many companies that are really just specializing in specifically men's accessories. So we want to kind of keep that focus on that, because that's really where we feel like the difference can be made. Because everybody's wearing suits, but the difference is how are you wearing suits and what are you wearing suits with. So right now we've got a few pocket squares here. This one, more type of spring stuff, polka dots. What we're gonna do, hasn't been to the embroidery yet, but we're gonna put a little mustard mustache right around there, hence the name Mustard Mustache. I like to work with fabrics that aren't traditionally used for other things like pocket squares, so there's a denim one here that's gonna be a little tough to work with, but let's see if we can get a few of those out. Don't have any bow ties with me, just put a regular tie. We like to do skinny ties, very skinny ties as you can tell. More emphasis on the threading as opposed to anything else. Love this pattern, but the threading is where we're kind of making a difference here. So that's just a little quick sample of what we have offered.
And you guys are all young guys. How did you decide to start your own business, and what steps have you been taking to follow through with it?
It really all came together in a cafe one day, and we were, Andrew Lax, he was really the lead man on this. He had a pair of socks, I guess, and he really wears crazy socks all the time. Just saw somebody with a mustache, and from there it kind of took off, so that's where the name Mustard Mustache comes from. And since then the first step was obviously becoming an LLC, and just designing a lot, designing, and getting the word out. So it's been good since then.
And has it been hard balancing your own education and pursuing your dreams of being a designer?
It has been rough, but with a great support system, I've really been able to get through it. With the right people, you can really do anything.
And do you have any tips or kind of tricks that have helped you along the way to succeed?
Time management. Time management is the key, because without time management, you're really all over the place, and it's difficult to get everything together. And keeping the right friends, keeping the right focus, all of that is really important. And know who you're starting with. And I feel really comfortable with the friends that I've started with, so I have the utmost confidence in that.
And so, thank you so much, Cameron. We're so excited to see where you go with this. Here at AIMbitious, we pursue our goals, and we obviously encourage young people to go for their dreams, and we really hope the best for you and for all of you guys out there. Thanks. So, are these Mustard Mustache too?
No, just the pocket square there. All of them really have been just by hand, the pocket squares.
By hand. Is it you and your partner sewing, or do you guys have other people?
It's just me sewing so far. I'm trying to teach them, but a little slow.
With a sewing machine, or do you like open a book up, and how do you?
I do both. The sewing machine is a little bit tougher, definitely tougher for people who are just starting to learn.
Here at AIMbitious, education and community involvement are priorities. No one understands that more than the team here at Pencils of Promise. That's why today we wanted to stop by and talk to a few of their team members about what they're doing daily to reach their goals and how they're encouraging young students across the globe.
Coordinator here at Pencils of Promise. I manage all of the campaigns, our fundraising and awareness campaigns for young people that are looking to get involved. I've been interning with Pencils of Promise since February, and I recently just joined the full-time team as a community outreach coordinator. So I'm new to being full-time staff, but long-time supporter and huge enthusiast. And I love getting everyone involved and getting them behind our cause, and just feeling the energy and spirit that's here in the office. Here at POP, we create access to quality education in the developing world. So we were founded about 4 years ago with just $25, and since then, in the last 4 years, we've been able to complete 65 school builds, and our goal is 100 schools by the end of 2012. We're going to break ground on our 100th school. That's our big impossible challenge this year. Absolutely. So here in the United States, we encourage kids to get involved with pop and just be aware of the global education crisis and become knowledgeable and just an activist and a philanthropist and just a supporter of all these really important issues around the world. And by getting those students involved here, we can better education scene for everyone in the world and improve access to education in Guatemala, Laos, Nicaragua, and soon in Africa. We're moving to Ghana next year, so really exciting, and we just love getting our young supporters as excited as we are about this really important issue of education. Young people are really excited about everything we're doing abroad. They all want to go on the builds, they want to see what's happening in Guatemala. We get emails every day about students that want to be hands-on involved, not only in fundraising. So there's such enthusiasm and support, and while we can't send students to go build the schools, they can support us in other ways by interning here in the office or supporting us online through fundraising initiatives. We have so many great supporters that come up with all these creative ideas to get behind the pop movement. So the enthusiasm is just across the board everywhere.
I'm a community engagement intern, and I basically help write some blog articles, create webisodes that promote what pop is, information about it. Well, pop is like a big part of my life. It inspires me so much to just be a better person and do good. So I really want to be in the office and get a feel of what it's like to work for people. Just keep believing and never give up, really. Just always go for it. So if you want to do something, set your mind to it, go for it, set goals. Just never give up and always smile and have a positive attitude.
I mean, just the story of pop itself. We were founded with $25 and the goal of building one school. There was a party. Party built our first school. That was how our funds were initially raised, and just 4 years later we have 65 schools completed and hope to have 100 by the end of the year. So it just shows that you can be someone, that a young person that wants to throw a party and have those donations go somewhere, and somewhere down the line you could have 100 schools built. It just takes something really small to set something really big. Oh my gosh, there are so many ways you can make an impact, and I was just talking about Kennedy Donnelly, who did a bike ride 4,000 miles across the country, and she's not a biker, she's not an athlete, she's just a 17-year-old girl that decided this crazy way to help, and there's a whole gamut of ways you can help. You don't have to bike ride, and you don't have to fundraise, you can just use your voice and help pop by spreading the word and telling friends and posting about it online. There are a million ways to get involved, and just making people aware that there is a global education crisis and there are ways you can help, ways you can get involved, ways to support such an important cause. I think there's a way to get involved for every kind of person, no matter what kind of time you have or what your schedule is like. There's always a way to be a great supporter of pop.